Good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday. Today we're going to be making blueberry scones with lemon zest, and it is kitchen quarantine day 3. So these are all the things I have in my kitchen, and I know you guys probably are wondering where I get all this stuff, butter, whatever. I stock up. I haven't gone and done hoarding shopping or anything like that, but I usually have frozen berries in my freezer. I always make sure I have enough butter on hand, flour, sugar, things like that, just the essentials for baking. So this is a similar recipe to biscuits, very simple, again, biscuit method, and I'll show you how. So here's what we're going to use today. Okay, this recipe is a scaled recipe. So if you don't have a kitchen scale, I apologize. I have several in my kitchen, and a lot of recipes I use, usually you got to use a scale to weigh out your flour and your sugar and stuff like that. So you can find any scone recipe online, do it this way, and I assure you it'll come out fine. Okay, so here I have 1 pound and 12 ounces of AP flour. I have a ½ tablespoon of salt, 4 ounces of sugar, 2 tablespoons of baking powder, 9 ounces of butter over here, 3 ounces of shortening, and 2½ cups of half and half. The original recipe asks for heavy cream, but I don't have any on me, and since I use half and half in my coffee, I decided to sacrifice what I had left for this recipe. I have about a cup and a half of frozen blueberries, which I took out last night and I thawed in my fridge. I didn't want to use solid frozen blueberries just in the recipe itself because it makes it harder to work with. And then I have the zest of about 1 ginormous lemon here. Alright, so this is what we're going to use to make our recipe. Okay, so first things first, we're going to put our dry ingredients again into the flour, including the sugar. And we're going to stir it all up. Very similar to the biscuit method. What I like to do, because shortening is softer than buttery, I don't grate this. I put it into the flour and I use my hands to pretty much cut this into the flour the best I can. It's very soft, so it's going to really break apart and feel, I like the way it feels actually. It's fun. So I just do this for a little bit to make sure that it's fully incorporated throughout all the flour until there's really nothing, you don't feel anything left. Maybe there's some small flat little pieces, and that's okay. You just don't want the whole chunk in there. Okay, so that was pretty easy because it wasn't a lot. So as you can see, you don't see it in there, but there are little chunks in there. Next, I'm going to grate in my butter, as I did with the biscuits. Try to work as fast as I can here. This is actually a pretty big recipe, believe it or not. And I actually cut it in half from its original recipe, which is double this. So we'll see how many scones we can make out of this today. And one last block. Alright, that's the last of that. So we're going to just try to incorporate that butter all into the flour, make sure. And you just kind of separate the bigger chunks with your fingertips. Alright, now we're going to fold in the cream, or my half and half. And at this point is also where you also want to add your inclusions, like your berries or your zest or whatever else you are going to put into it. Okay, so we're going to mix this up. And then once it comes to a whole, I will show you what we're going to do next. So we got our dough all nice and packed. It was a little difficult to work with. Mine was a little soft. But so some people like to cut triangles. So that's what we're going to do. Just get any knife, sharp knife. And this is a very soft dough. So I'm going to try my hardest here to make even cuts despite the softness. Because this one's already looking like a triangle, we're going to put this one on the pan over here. And so pretty much that's it. You're going to cut squares. You can do circles like biscuits. Scones can be any shape, however you want them. They don't have to be triangle. I mean, it's more traditional, I suppose, but I like them triangle. I think they look kind of cool. Alright, so you're going to arrange them on your pan. You're not going to have them touch each other. They're going to be separate. And then we're going to bake them at 350 for 15 to 20 minutes. So you want to get a nice dark color on top. But before you bake them, what I like to do is I like to get a little, this is half and half because I don't have any cream. You could do egg wash, and you're going to brush it on top of each one. You could do egg wash or a half and half or heavy cream, and you can top it with any type of sugar. I have this really pretty sparkly sugar here that I'm just going to top on top of each scone before baking. So, hey guys, so it's been a long afternoon of baking scones, and yeah, so this recipe was pretty challenging because it was a scaled recipe, and I know most of you guys are not going to be able to do this at home. So I'm going to give you a different recipe to use, and I'll post that when I post the video. I'll just put it in the captions of what to do at home. It'll be a simple recipe using about 2 3/4 cups of flour and stuff like that. So instead of having to scale and weigh everything out on a little scale, which you probably don't have at home, I'll give you that recipe. So here's our finished product. There's various different sizes of scones here because I cut them all wonky and weird. And that's okay. So we have some with just the plain sugar on them. I made a little blueberry drizzle using the juice of the blueberries and lemon juice with powdered sugar. It's very simple to make a little glaze for your scones. And they are delicious. And you can still see some of the layering, kind of like the biscuits. They look kind of cool. So enjoy, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this video today in Kitchen Quarantine Scones edition. And yes, stop it. Have a good Sunday.